is up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. This is definitely not my typical video. If you've been watching my videos, I don't really commentate on like CrossFit news. However, I kind of wanted to talk about this because the CrossFit Games have been so exciting this year. I've been really like invested in the games this year, and honestly, I want to bring more CrossFit back to my channel. I don't necessarily want to be like a news channel. I'm going to leave that up to all the other CrossFit news channels. But I do want to talk more about CrossFit, my CrossFit experience, and also just CrossFit things, because that is one of my passions, and honestly, I just love CrossFit. It brings me a lot of joy, and I want to share that joy with each and every one of you. But today we're going to be talking about the games. The CrossFit Games have been pretty intense this year and so different somehow. First, I want to talk about the programming. Mostly of the individual programming. I thought that the programming was pretty good this year. I really would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought about the programming. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear back from all of you. But honestly, I actually liked the programming this year. It was different. It was the first year that Castro was not doing the programming, which I was like, not sure how they're gonna handle this, but honestly, they did pretty good, and I think that the events weren't too bad. It really brought back a lot of like the basics of CrossFit. Did I agree with each and every one event? Probably not. I thought the handstand one was probably not the best executed. I think that they could have probably executed it a little bit better. However, I'm not a professional. I'm not someone who creates events, so I can't really say much. But I think that they could have executed the handstands a little bit better, because I think there was a lot of misjudging there. But other than that, one of the major aspects that I really did like is that it brought back like to the basics of CrossFit, and like with the, I think it was called the All Nines event, which they had on the last day, where they did the yoke carry, the front squats, and the deadlifts, and they had to stop the deadlift. So I know a lot of athletes probably could have repped them out, did all four. However, they made them stop, they made them readjust themselves, make sure that they were doing a proper form and that they weren't gonna hurt themselves. And I really liked that actually. And it was similar to like the push jerk event. I think they did sprints and then they had to do the push or the jerks, push jerks, whatever. They had to stop, reset, and do it, and they couldn't just like rep it out, which I really did like. And it made it a little bit more challenging because everyone had to stop, because in the past it would be like some people could rep it out, some people would have to stop. So it made things a little bit different, and I kind of like that people weren't trying to rep it out and hurt themselves. And it was also interesting to see a lot more like the strongman event with the bags. That was very interesting for sure. I don't know how some of them did it. Watching the girls, the bags were like as big as half those girls, which was kind of interesting to watch. But I did like it. It was different. It wasn't like a 1 rep max like clean or snatch. It was something just like a different element, which was nice. I did find that there was a lot of running this year. However, running is a big aspect to CrossFit, of course, but it was nice to see that there was running, but I found that there was quite a bit, of course. And it was also nice to see a swim in a pool. That was something that was really different too. They don't really do, well, they've never really done the pool much in like a full games aspect. It's always been at the lake, whereas last year I think at the lake some people got some like, I don't know, they got sick from the lake, so I think it was good that they moved to the pool this year. And other than that, I think that's pretty much all my opinions on the kind of programming. I did like it. I thought it was pretty good and it was pretty well balanced. So yeah, I want to hear, of course, from you guys down below. And then I kind of want to touch on the kind of masters division, the teen division, and the adaptive division. That really blew me away too. I know a lot of people just don't talk about that because there's not that much news in there. However, this year was one of the first years that I actually sat down and watched those divisions, because my coach was in the male 50 to 54 division, so we wanted to cheer him on, and they all kind of go together. So we were just like watching it through, and the adaptive division is absolutely insane and so amazing to watch. I love watching that division. It was so nice to see. Even the masters, very often when it came to the masters and teen divisions in the adaptive as well, it was very different programming. Like the programming was not similar to the individuals, where this year I felt like they tried to keep it as similar to the individual events as possible. So I think that was pretty cool. It keeps them kind of on the same page as the individuals, if that makes sense. Like, they're not the individuals that we see, but they kind of stay similar to what they're doing. However, there are things that were changed a little bit, but they kept them kind of similar, which I really, really liked. And also amazing, just amazing to watch the adaptive and how well they do. Oh, I'm like, my gosh, I could never do half of the things that you guys do. And then also even the masters, oh my God, impressive. And I feel like that they need way more recognition. Even the teens, there were some young kids there. Oh my God, literally so impressive. I love watching each of those divisions as well. And then moving on to the teams, I thought the teams were great too. The programming was really great this year. A lot of synchronizing between all the athletes, like the ring muscle ups, the double unders. I don't know how you can synchronize double unders, because everyone, when it comes to double unders, kind of has their own rhythm. So that is quite a challenging aspect for sure. But I really liked it and I thought it was great. I, of course, was interested to see how Reykjavik did, because they put a lot of emphasis on Mayhem and Reykjavik because Annie was on Reykjavik. So they were probably like, you know what, let's put emphasis on these two because Reykjavik might give Mayhem a run for their money. But honestly, Reykjavik, they did pretty good for a team for the first year. But I feel like Oslo and Invictus and definitely the other like Oslo and Mayhem teams need way more recognition than what they deserve, because they were really strong. I believe this is Oslo's second time in second place in the team event, which is great and awesome, and they definitely need more recognition. And I love just how kind of, I think it's Norway is like really improving CrossFit in that country. And I mean, like, of course Mayhem won. Like, well, I'm interested to see, because there's also rumor that Rich Froning was retiring, but when they asked him if he was retiring, he's like, we'll see about that. I'm curious to see. I think he's just not sure, but I think he might be retiring in my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below if you think Rich Froning's gonna be retiring. We might already know by the time this video goes up. Anyways, moving on to the individuals. This year was so interesting. Oh my gosh. You had no idea who was gonna win. Like, you thought, like, after 2 days, you're like, oh my God, this person's leading, this person's leading. Like, it was Ricky Garrard leading for the longest time, and then it was like Mal O'Brien, Emma Lawson, like Haley, like, it was so mixed up in the girls' field. So let's talk about the guys' field really quick. I mean, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Of course, your girl is Canadian. She was rooting for Pat Vellner. I was really hoping that this year, you know, he'd do really good. However, there was a lot of endurance events, and I know those aren't his strengths. He's really good at the more CrossFit-y events and more gymnastic-y stuff. But it was really interesting overall. It was interesting to see how Ricky Garrard would come back, how people would kind of perceive him. Not a big fan of him, but it really just depends how you perceive drugs and CrossFit. Some people think everyone's on drugs, so you know what I mean? He was just one that was outed for it and it was stupid, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, some people believe that some people aren't on it, and that, you know what I mean? Like, it's stuck, like that he was on it and he cheated and that he's always gonna cheat. I mean, I know everyone is very opinionated on this, and definitely there's a huge scale when it comes to Ricky Garrard, but it was really interesting to see how he would just come back to the games. And I was actually pleasantly surprised to see how dominant he was. I personally did not think he was going to be that dominant. And then moving on to Roman Krenikov, oh, I've been so excited to see him perform. It's been years, literally. The poor guy has not been able to get into the States for the games, and finally he was able to this year. And I was just so excited to see him, and I was so excited to see how he did. And he did amazing in my opinion. I'm so, so proud of him because of all the work and all the years of him being denied, and then finally being able to come to the games and how dominant he was. I was like, yeah, man, that is awesome. And I mean, like, personally, as a mother, I don't know how his wife did it, because she had to give birth like without him and then start raising their child without him. But apparently now they have a visa, like a 5-year visa to be in the States. So that is great. She's here with him, and now they can raise their family together. So I'm really happy for them, and I'm excited to see how Roman Krenikov will do over the next couple years in CrossFit. And then Justin Medeiros, man, like, oh, I was not sure if he was gonna podium again. Like, they really, really made it dramatic towards the end there. but I'm really happy for him. I think he's a really great athlete and he does really well in the sport. So it's just nice to see how he will kind of grow in the sport from here, because definitely he wasn't as dominant as he was last year, but at the same time, he really fought for it and fought for every single point. And then talking about more of the athletes really quick, Samuel Laquant, really nice to see how well he did too. He had a really amazing last day that he just climbed up that leaderboard, and same with like Jeffrey Adler, proud Canadian over here too. He did so good and I'm so proud of him. He has really developed over the past couple of years and I think he's just doing amazing. And then Pat Vellner, I know it probably wasn't the placing that most people would have put him in, but you know what? He did his thing. He really went from the bottom up, like he was all over the leaderboard. So it was really interesting to see that he finished in 6th place. And honestly, some of the other ones, I really wanted to see Guy Maheros, how he would do, and he did pretty good actually. He held his own because he was training with Mayhem all year, so it was really interesting to see how he would have developed over the past year. And honestly, I think that there were so many rookies this year, which was crazy. This game was just filled with rookies and filled with so many young athletes, so it's really exciting to see how the athletes are going to do over the next couple years. And of course, moving on to the women, Tia, man, she obviously won 1st place. It was so weird to not see her in the leaders jersey for quite a while. Honestly, I was like, wow, this is weird. She's just wearing like the regular athlete stuff, whereas usually like day one she's in the jersey and that's it. But it was nice to kind of see a little bit of a challenge and back and forth and like, oh my god, is Tia actually gonna win kind of thing. We all knew she was gonna win, I guess, at the end of the day. But at the same time, there's a huge speculation with Tia now, because they announced when we were watching it that she was retiring, but then when they asked her in the interview, she's like, I don't know. So people are like, is she retiring? Is she not? Personally, I think she is going to be retiring and that she's just going to announce it on her social media. It's going to be more official that way rather than her making like the decision right there at the end of it. I really think that she's retiring. Her family was there for the first time watching her, so I think that might have been part of the thing of her family coming, that they would watch her one last time, or probably one last time for now. But yeah, I personally think she might be retiring. I could be completely wrong, but I think she's going to be announcing it on her social media from my perspective. Let me know if you think Tia is retiring down below if you haven't found out already. And then moving on to 2nd place, Mal O'Brien. Oh, that girl is a little beast. My gosh, I cannot wait to see her next year and the upcoming years. She is just, I don't know, she surprises me. She's just, like I said, a little beast. She just comes out of nowhere and she just reps things out and goes and goes and goes. Like, I know she's little and she might not be able to do an insane barbell, but she is a strong little powerhouse and I love that about her and I cannot wait to see more about her. Same with Laura Horvath. Oh, that was an exciting finish as well. It was so amazing to see how much she just chipped away at the leaderboard and kept going and going and going until she finally got into that 3rd place position. Laura Horvath, I feel like, is an athlete that is so overlooked and just not recognized as much. And I think she should be recognized so much more because she is just so strong. She has now finished on the podium 3 times, which is absolutely amazing. And I just wish she had a little bit more recognition and a little bit more confidence from the CrossFit community, because she is just really good at the end of the day. She might have her issues in the gymnastics stuff, like especially the handstand stuff, but everything else, she is pretty dominant. She is really good. She is really strong. It was interesting to see how she just came from a deficit and just made her way to the top. It was insane to watch, and how close it was from like 3rd place all the way down to 11th place. There was not much points in between there, so it's really interesting to see how it was going to kind of shake up the leaderboard. And then moving on, Danielle Brandon, also 4th place. I think that's a really great finish for her. I didn't think that she was going to podium, but at some point she was looking close to the podium and I was like, yes, like she is looking good this year. I think that this year she looked amazing. Same with Brooke Wells. I honestly did not think she was going to do good. I thought she was going to struggle this year because of her elbow. I thought she was going to really struggle like on the rope climb workout. They were supposed to have rope climbs, but the weather, it was going to make it too dangerous for them to do rope climbs, so they just cut out the rope climbs and just did the kettlebell sled push. I wonder how it would have changed for her there, because I know she really struggled in the sanctionals with her rope climbs, but she really did well for 5th place with someone who had such an injury last year and had to go into surgery. That is insane and amazing. And then Emma Lawson, I have been following this girl for years now, and I found that she was just like so underrated. She won the teen division. She was absolutely amazing. I'd watch her train in her garage in like 2020, and she was so good. And I was like, oh my God, you are inspirational. And it was amazing to see her at the games this year. Just to see her, how dominant she was in some of these events was absolutely amazing. And of course she's Canadian, so I gotta love her, of course. And I just really like to see how she finished in 6th place on her rookie year. That is really, really great. And also nice to see Cara Saunders back on the stage. I love Cara. Gotta love Cara, because you know what? She honestly makes me feel so confident in my body, because she has got these little thunder thighs that I absolutely love. They're so, so strong. And then she makes me feel so confident when it comes to my thighs, because I have kind of bigger thighs. I've always been insecure in them, but her confidence in her thighs has kind of given me the confidence in my thighs. But this video is not about my thighs or her thighs. I'm just really happy to see her back on the stage, because last year she kind of fell out a little bit because of COVID, and this year she was so great. It was so nice to see how well she did, and like all the hard work that she puts in. I follow her on social media, and she just puts in time and time and time into her workouts. And it's not easy to be a mom, run a business, and be a CrossFit Games athlete. She definitely sacrifices quite a bit, so it's really nice to see her back on the CrossFit Games stage and actually do really, really well. She was another one that just tipped away at the leaderboard as well. And then Gabrielle Magala, amazing to see. Haley, I honestly thought she would be a little bit higher, but she still is there, and I'm really proud of her, and saw that she just chipped away at things too. Like, I know she really struggled in that 9s workout. It was hard, but she tried to do the best she could do. And honestly, after watching her win the first event and then her realizing she was going to be in the leader's jersey was absolutely hilarious. And then other than that, it was really nice to just watch a lot of these athletes, because it was just like everyone just switching up and down, up and down, up and down, because it was like so tight in the women's division. And like Jacqueline Dahlstorm, the sandbag event, Dave and I were watching it just in utter shock. For her to come in second in that, oh my gosh, like that was absolutely amazing. She's a little woman, and for her to pick up a bag like that, I was like, damn, that is absolutely amazing. So it was really nice to watch her in that sandbag event. And other than that, there's just so many athletes in the women's division, so many rookies that I just cannot wait to see in the upcoming years. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Cannot wait to see next year, especially if T is not gonna be there, how much the leaderboard's just gonna change all the time and everything like that. So yeah, let me know in the comments of what you guys think of the individual athletes, how you felt about the leaderboard, how you felt about the results. I would love to hear it in the comments down below. Of course, obviously be respectful, but in that, I would love to hear your thoughts of the games and just of the games overall and all the athletes and things like that. Let me know in the comments down below. I just love to hear other people's opinions. I've been on Reddit and I've been seeing so many opinions. I mean, obviously there's tons of people, they're gonna have different opinions, but it's just been really nice to see all the differing opinions, people's thoughts and things like that. Just love to hear it, so let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, I think that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more CrossFit stuff, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That truly helps my channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is. And don't forget to be unstoppable, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Go inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drinking.